As for the Raiders, I saw what you said to start the show, Andrew, and I would jump in to say that the Raiders are primed for a run based on their schedule, based on the fact that they just won, based on the fact that they, do have a terrific wide receiver running back combination. They've got a big time playmaker on the defensive line. When Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, we can only assume that this offense is going to get better. It's just the number of times that I've bought in on the Raiders over the last 2 years, I've been completely burned, and I might be a scarred guy at this point in time. And it's just so tough to call the New England Patriots a get-right game. It just, I don't know if I could bring myself to say that.
But would anything surprise us in that game? Because it's nothing. Like, if the Patriots win by 10, Brockman, I know you can't fathom a world in which they can score 10 points against anyone. Right. But, it's Belichick and McDaniels. Nothing would surprise me.
No question about it. And the Raiders, they're sitting at home. I get it, but it's a short week. I don't know. I mean, Belichick says that they're going to start things from scratch, which means that would be a great way to even just throw. What would Josh McDaniels even be able to answer that question? I mean, I asked this of Kurt Warner when we were standing in front of Buckingham Palace about 2 hours ago, shooting a segment for NFL Network. What does starting from scratch mean? What does that mean essentially? Starting over. What does that mean? I don't know. So, is there a way for even Josh McDaniels to be left wondering what Belichick is going to be thinking? I know we're already turning a page towards week 6 right now, but that's the point. Is you take a look at the Raiders schedule, and they have the Patriots coming in, and the Patriots have played terrible football over the last 2 weeks. And then you figure that they win that one, they're at 500 before taking a tour of the NFC North. They go visit the Bears, and I'll shrug emoji that one, guys. Honestly,
who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows? And then there are the aforementioned Lions before the Giants come for a visit, and then the Jets. You have got those New York teams, and I would have to say this, looking at that schedule, you've got to win the home games against so-called lesser opponents. You've got to win the game at Chicago if you're the Raiders and have the ability to do this. You've got to win the game against the Jets as well. So that's 4 wins right there. So that is, as you would say, set up for a nice run. So let's say they go 4-1 in the next 5, that would be a very nice record of 6-4 heading into the toughest part of this. I mean, look at those opponents that they are playing around Thanksgiving and after their bye. So they need to make hay in the next 5 weeks to make a run. And if they don't, and if they play down to some of their opponents, which is one way to say it, let's just say they go 2-3 in that stretch. They lose one of those home games. They lose at Detroit. They lose maybe at Chicago because the Bears might be who we think they were in the beginning of the season as an offense based on what we saw in Washington. I don't know. I still need to see a little bit more. And I need to see some consistency, and I need them to beat opponents that they should. And you could see on their schedule, the next 5 is chock full of those opponents right now.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.